Hello.
Yes, Chair.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Elvin has some problem with connection. Might late a few minutes. Yeah, I see Elvin.
Owen, are you?
Yeah, I see Elvin here, but he
I think
is still.
I think he can hear because he can connect to the audio. I see him trying to connect to the audio since I joined.
Yeah, yes.
Probably.
We have got the connection problem since yesterday. Can you see me?
Yes, Chair, we can see you.
Oh, the connection is too bad. You know, my picture is moving very slowly. Okay. Okay, so let's start the class. Are you all awakened? You see my picture?
Yeah, but it's
Oh,
like
it's frozen.
stuck.
Yeah, you're frozen.
Yes, because of the connection. Yeah.
On
Oh.
vacation.
Okay, so whatever I can see you. Okay, so what homework did I give you yesterday?
You
Oh,
said
no.
you're gonna make groups reading.
Monday, yes?
Reading assignment.
We need to discuss about those letters.
Okay, good jobs. So let me check it out how many, okay, who are the group members in your group? So I would like to request you is that don't look at my profile picture, right? Just only listen to me. But if you're sleepy, you can look at.
So you're stuck with your hands in your ear.
Actually, that's it. You know, I just try to neat, and tidy my hair, you know, behind the ears, but it becomes like that. I'm not cleaning my ears in front of the camera, okay? Okay, so can you make sure for the groups again?
But you haven't assigned us to the groups yet. Or is it the old
Okay, good.
project group?
Okay. So you have to discuss about informal description, am I right? Okay, I'm sorry, let me turn off my camera. Okay, so let me make sure that you have to discuss about informal registration, friendly registration, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me, can you make sure for the pages?
1 to 50.
1, 2,
50.
60. Okay, good job.
50, teacher.
50.
50.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you. So let me make sure how many people. Yanoki and Xion, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Okay, I
8,
haven't
9, 10.
rewatched the videos because I missed the class.
So you mean two video clips that I sent?
No, I mean the video of the class teaching because I missed the class. I think for 2 days.
Oh, I see that. Okay. Okay, so whatever, let's divide the group first. Let's break out the room first, right? Oh my God, what happened? Please. Okay, before I break out the rooms, because my application is running very slowly, that's why let me tell your name first, right? Find the group. So group 1, Nyano. Okay, Nyano. And then Pyo Si Tu. Then 1. Okay, and group 2, Jamal. Jamal, can you hear me?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, Jamal and Elena and Nora. Okay, group 3, Ichamo, William, and Shelley. Right, so group 4, Jo Tiền Sa and Ji Shen Tan. And then next one is Jin, Aritz. Okay, and then group 5, Tanda, Nechi. Anyone else? Kamya is, okay, Alvin is still connecting. Okay, so let me make sure again. For group 1, Miano, Pyo Situ, and 1. For group 2, Yamal, Elena, and Nora. Group 3, Eta, Mo, William, and Shelly. Group 4, Jotenza, Jishintan, and Aritz. Group 5, Tanda, and Nichi. Are you okay? Is anyone left? Okay, so let's divide the page number. Group 1. Group 1, page number 1, 2. Group 1, page number 1 to 5. Group 2, 6 to 10. Group 3, 11 to 15. Group 4, 16 to 20. Group 5, 21 to 25. Are you okay? Yes. So now I'm going to assign your name. I'm sorry because of the slow connection and it works very slowly. So group 1, Nhân 2, and 1. There's one more one. Okay. And then room 2, Shimon, Elena, and Nora. Okay, room 3, HMO, William, and Shanley. Room 4, Jotinsa, Jishenta, and Iris, where's Iris? Okay. And then here's 5, room 5, Danta, and Nietzsche. Okay, Gaumya is still connecting, but we have to, I will put him in the groups. Okay, let's start. How long will you take? 10 minutes, right?
So we just have to start, or we have to present in the main session again.
Yes, of course. You have to diskette and then note down, and then you have to do presentation in the Zoom, main Zoom. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Teacher.
Yes,
Yeah.
Chair.
Yeah, is there any lagging?
No.
No,
No.
Chair.
Okay, thank you. So I think I want to keep this saturation still low, right? Yeah. So which group is going to start? Yeah, group 1. Let's start from group 1, right? Okay, group 1. Nhân, Situ, and 1. Let's start from your group. Your friends are waiting to highlight what you presented.
Okay, so I will start now.
Okay.
In our group, we have Nhân and Situ and me. So I will present page 1. On page 1, use a correct level of language to suit a particular situation, and most languages have different registers or levels. Example, the register we use when speaking to our friends will be very different from the register we use to our grandmother. There are also some differences between writing and speaking. These will depend on whom you are writing to. Usually, writing uses a more formal register than speech. There is nothing special on page 2, so Miano will present the page 3 and 4.
So on page 3, it is about writing a friendly register. When we need to use informal or friendly register, all such letters are called friendly letters. And friendly register is level of language which comes between informal spoken language and formal writing language. And you need to make sure not to make the level of language too formal. too informal, and you can include the features which are often used when speaking to a friend. And you need to be sure not to make too formal language. So on page 4, when writing in friendly letter, try to simplify the language as much as possible. And now Pyo-Si-Tu will talk about the page 5.
Okay, in page 5, the writer is talk about the basics of the friendly writer. When you start to write your letters in the exam, it is extremely important to read the questions again and again and analyze it carefully to find the hidden implications and to supply a full answer. When you read a question, try to follow these 4 steps. First, establish the facts according to the information both given and explained in the question. For example, where are you writing from? Home, another town, another country. Why are you writing? How do you feel at the time of writing? Okay, second, establish the audience. Third, establish the implication, and the last, establish which type of friendly letter is required. Okay, and then he said about format of a friendly letter. Format of the friendly letter divided into the following sections. First, greeting, paragraph 1, introduction, paragraph 2, conclusion and body, paragraph 3, body, paragraph 4, conclusion, and the last, ending and signature. That's all. Thanks for your attention.
Okay, thank you so much. And now let's go to group 2. Yeah, group 2, Yamal, Elena, and Nura.
Yeah, so we're group 2. Now we'll talk about page 6 and page 7. So in page 6, it's all about greeting. So you have to be sure and you have to know the ways of starting a letter to a different person. For example, like whether you're writing to a friend or to a brother or to a cousin. So in every case, you can use only the standard dear. We shouldn't use like dearest or my dearest or my best friend. And paragraphs need to be clearly shown by indenting the first line of each new paragraph, so it lies up under the comma following the name. And friendly letters should have a short introduction, and you have to make sure you keep the name short and simple. And there are many ways of writing introduction. You can start introduction by using an apology or by not using an apology, or you can also start with personal reference. And there are 2 kinds of apology introduction. The first one is apology with reason, and the second one is apology without reason. So now Alina will talk about page 8 and 9.
Yeah, for page 8, language point is it's better to use the short verb form. So like I haven't, I've, and then apologizing where there's no real active for no writing. For example, I've been meaning to write for ages, but I'm afraid I just haven't got around to it. And you can also use like I've been meaning to write since the party, but things kept cropping up, and I'm afraid I just haven't got around to it. Or but what with one thing and another, I'm afraid I just haven't had the time. For the apology for the 2 example is I'm sorry I haven't written, and then blah 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 blah, and I've been meaning to write. Both imply that the writer has been thinking about the reader and feels bad about not having written. And other introductions to friendly register do not involve an apology, like it was lovely to get your letter yesterday, or it was great to hear from you last week. For page 9, language point, notice the use of the get. The word of get is equivalent of receive, which is to format here. And notice the use of here is like even we use our eyes, not our ears, is okay to use. To hear from means to receive news, and its form is the use of in informal situations. And then yesterday and last week, it's important to say when something happened at the end of sentences like this. Another one is an introduction to an informal letter can also begin with something very personal to show your friendship, like congratulations on passing the exam. I hope you're feeling better, or I hope you've got over the flu. For the language point, to get over is informal register, like it's used instead of to recover from. And the transitions. After writing a suitable introduction, the next step is to write a transition sentence. Three different ways to begin the transition is using the words anyway or anyhow, using the past tense, using other methods. Like anyway or anyhow, especially after an apology type introduction. For example, dear Sarah, I'm sorry I haven't written for ages, but I've been busy rehearsing my part for the school play. Anyway, I thought I would drop you a line. In other words, what the writer have been doing, rehearsing for the school play, is not really important or interesting to Sarah, and it's not the main reason for writing. So be careful about using anyway or anyhow because for in some situations it can be completely wrong to use these words. Thank you for your attention.
For page 10, I would like to present about the second ways of begin the transition with using the past tense. For example, like they use like I thought you might like to know something about. Using the person is show the respect for a person you are writing, and it also more respectful when you write in the descriptive letter about home and family. The example sentence like I'm going to tell you about my family, or I will tell you about my family. In these sentences, they use like will and going to. It is very strong and forceful in using English, so you should be avoided in these situations. And also, the tell is not appropriate, and it is related to a speech, so you should avoid that. And the more examples of translation sentences are like, I thought I would drop you a line to let you know something about my family. In these sentences, the word drop you a line means that it is another way to write to you in the informal register. Thank you for listening our presentation.
Okay, thank you so much. Really great. Alina, thank you so much for your, how to reducing your speed, okay? So today is really clear, and that your friends also, I think they can highlight what you have discussed, right? Okay, so now let's move on to group 3. Okay, let me call out your name. Acha, William, and then Shelley.
Well, I'll take page 11 and 12. Hello, and I'm from group 3. Group of three member, which is me, William, and HM. Yes. So I'm going to start with the signature. Signature about signature. Signature is the one that you write at the end of the letter on the left or in the middle. The main thing about writing a signature is don't use your full name. Only use your first name. And there's some example that they give us that you can use. For example, love from yours. And that's all about page 11. On page 12, descriptive friendly letter, descriptive letter. Descriptive letter need to be written in a friendly, informal register because these are written to either to a relative or to someone the same age as you, such as a friend or a pen friend. There are usually a few things that you will be asked to describe, including your home, your family, your school, your hobbies, and your free time. What you do on free time, and the main point about this is describing is you have to create interest so that the reader doesn't get bored, and the personalize for the reader, support each idea, and don't list. That's all. And William will continue.
Are you done, bro?
Yes.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna explain about page 13 and 13. Like the thing is like write to your pen friend who is coming to stay with you for a month. Tell him about your home, family, and your school. Like the first thing is you need to set up a purpose for like what do you want to write? His or her family or his or her favorite things. If you're in the exam, that essential to have a real image of the like person in mind and have to know about his or her structure and figure. And then you have to know about lifestyle. Okay, and then how to describe your home. Whatever the important thing is to make sure, like, do not list, like, and then, like, do not list, do not state the obvious. For example, my house has 4 bedrooms and 4 bedroom, and we have a kitchen, we have a living room and dining room. You shouldn't write like this. Like, describe your home and your neighborhood. Tell him about your interesting society. Be careful with the prepositions. For example, like in or in, on, off, with. Like these are a bit complicated in English. So Ejama will explain about page 15. Thank you.
In page 50, when describing a location on an outskirts or a city, on example, I live on an outskirts or New York, and then I live about half an hour drive from Mormia, and then describe a location in the countryside. I live in the middle of the country with a wonderful view of the pine forest, and then I live in the head of the country where for the steep view of the mountain. Remember, make sure your proposition are accurate. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so now, sorry, now let's move on to group 4. Jot things are, right? Jishin, Fan, and Eritz.
We thought we had to make a presentation, so we made Google Slides. Can we screen
Yeah,
share?
okay, no problem. Yeah, that's just great because your friends can take a photo and then screenshot instead of highlighting, right?
Here.
Okay, so I'm Iris. So our group is going to talk about page 16 to 20. So on page 16, adding spot and describing the location of your house to your friend also involves adding spot, and you shouldn't depend very much on the character and how well you know your friend in adding spot, and the spot phrase should link to the friend's character. Like we can easily we can go shopping whenever you like. That means she enjoys shopping. And the next one is creating interest. One of the best way to create interest is when you write is to contrast, but do not contrast in every single case, because if you do that, the letter will not sound neutral. And it should personalize the situation and show the reader that your relationship is friendly, and to show his or her life, and you should show how his or her life are different from yours. And if you imagine a pen friend and write, you should try to make his life different from yours. And there's an example sentence. I live in a 3-bedroom house right in the center of the city. It is very different from your quiet village, and there are so many things to do. You will never be bored. Okay, so Joe will talk about describing living arrangements.
Hello, I'm going to talk about page 17 and 18. On page 17, there's describing living arrangement. Describing your house also involves describing the living arrangements, especially if your friend is coming to stay. Describe where they will sleep and if they'll have their own room or would have to share. Some people do not like to share, and some people like the idea. And producing informal writing. You can use the person as a polite way of giving information. It would be quite rude to write to your friend like, we have only got 3 bedrooms, so you have to share with me. This kind of sentence is kind of rude, and you will stay in the classroom. The use of will and going to can be very strong in English. And it is polite to give your guest a choice, like he may prefer not to share or he may feel alone in the strange house. Support your sentence and take the opportunity to personalize and show how well you know the person you are writing to. Choose one of the items in your room that may seem interesting to your friend and avoid listing. If your friend spends a lot of time playing football and watching horror films, like he will not be interested in your piano or your stamp collections. Now Jishin Dan will talk about the rest.
Hi, I'm Crystal. I'm going to be talking about page 19 to 20, describing family or family members. So when you're describing your family, you should avoid listing because you shouldn't be like, there in my family, there's my father, my mother, my sister, because that's listing and it gets boring easily to me. Instead, you can introduce them by their names, and also describing every member of your family would take a long time. So you should just like pick one person from your family with a strong personality. So probably who you think your friend might like and describe them. You should support each sentence of why you wrote it and also add personalization. You should not state obvious physical features unless it is unusual. So you shouldn't say, like, for example, my sister is a girl, because that's completely obvious. So if you're describing, you could add like how your mother or your father, if they are a football fan or a computer nut, or if they are easy to talk to or get along with. So yes, this is our presentation. We're group 4. And thanks for listening.
Okay, thank you so much. It's also a great one. Yes. Okay, I do appreciate for your unity in your group, right? So, and then another 2 groups, group 1 and 2, also really great, and then they tried the best. Okay, I do appreciate for your attempt. Now let's see for group 5. Okay.
Teacher, before we start, let us ask
Can we check on Elvin?
Hello, wait.
Hey, well, Elvin's here.
No, I joined and rejoined like 10 times when you were like.
He's having like a technical issues right now.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I didn't hear like exactly what everyone said. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. There's a recording, and then you can listen it again.
Yeah, in the recording you can see like pop in and disappear again.
Yes, really. Your friends explained that really with the effective points. I feel amazed. Okay, how they are very clever today.
Yeah.
Okay, I wish you all to be like this every day.
So we'll start. So good morning, everyone, and this is group 5, which include Neji, Alvin, and me, and we'll explain you throughout page 21 to 26, and I'll go with 21 and 22 first. So for these pages, it's about describing your school and your teachers and also your school friends. So what's common about these 3 things, about describing these 3 things are, you should avoid listing, and you should avoid some stating the obvious, and you should emphasize on personalizing and also the adding supports and stuff. So if I explain truly about one, so for describing the school building, so you have to describe if there's anything special about it. Is it old? Is it new? Is it far from your house, or is it near? And also, do not give a tour of your school, because that is totally boring and that is so childish. I have to say that. And for personalizing, you have to focus on your friends, what your friends is interested in. If she's like a sporty type, you have to describe about the gym, so she would be interested in it, and the readers might find fascinating about it. And you could mention about how big is your gym and how's the facilities in it. like if there's a football a field or maybe a basketball stadium. And about describing the teachers, instead of describing all your teachers, you have to pick one with some very strong personality or have some connections to your friends. Like if your friends is like a science nut, you have to explain about your science teacher, like how he or she is good in that field. And one important thing is you do not state the obvious about your teacher, because those are the common ways of students describing their teacher. Like, my teachers is so nice. Of course, every teacher is nice to their students. And also, as I said before, you have to avoid listing. And about your school friends, like you have to find the common things with your friends and your school friends. Like if they're interested in K-pop or dramas or everything, you have to relate to it and describe, like, wait till you meet them. So you will be crazy over them. So I think this is all for page 21 and 22. So Neji will carry on.
So in page 23, it says how to describe your hobbies and free times. So when you describe your hobbies and free time, your letter has to be realistic and avoid listing. Like you don't have to make a complete timetable of your week. For example, on Monday, I come home from school at 2:30. At 3 o'clock, I have a shower. Then I eat lunch. After lunch, I go to sleep, like that. And you have to support each ideas and remember to create interest by including your friends and emphasizing the similarities and comparison between you and your friends. And when personalizing phrases, like you have to use personalizing phrases which will make the reader feel like he or she is included in your thoughts. Like you can use phrases, for example, you will be glad to know, I can't wait till you. And let me tell you one example. So you will be glad to know there's a fitness center near where I live, so we can work out in the gym anytime. So in this sentence, the phrase you will be glad to know is kind of personalizes, which shows you something about what makes your friend happy and her hobbies. And there's a fitness center near where I live. It's creating interest. And the phrase "so we can work out in the gym anytime" is a personalizing phrase again, which shows you and you know your friends like to work out, which is also a support. So now Alvin will present to you about the other pages.
Okay, hopefully my connection is good enough. Hello? Okay, is that anyone, can anyone hear clear? Okay. I can. Yes. Okay, so page 25, start for page 2, basically are just the examples that Neji just said.
Alvin, are you okay? Are you there? Oh no. I'm sorry for Alvin. Hello. He's having some internet issues. So if he's not here, I think I'll just continue. So as Alvin said, 25 is basically the examples of what Neji's explained. Well, to describe more of the examples, there is one. So I make up one of mine. So for example, your friend is transferring to this Hinda International School, and I'll describe something like, wait till you meet teacher Rose. She is very fun, and she's very fun.
Hello?
Okay.
Wait, what happened? Why are you suddenly explaining now?
No, because you just cut it.
She just worry about you. That's why she wants to save your time. She wants to save your time. That's why. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
So you take. Alvin, please continue.
Okay, I hate this. Okay, wait. Anyway, So what were you talking about? Oh, you were giving an example.
Yes.
Yes.
Not out of the book. Basically,
Yep.
okay. So, I think I should do the same as well. For example, like if you're writing a letter and the character you just give, like the person you're writing to is a sporty person or basically a musical person, you will say that you will enjoy our school because of the facility that we have. Basically, you have to make sure that the person that you're writing to is stay interested and also personalize it at the same time. Now, if you look at phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, I think everyone can see what the support is and what the personalization is. But if I keep saying this again and again, I'm pretty sure you will get bored. So reach phase 3 for first one. Wait until you test our mother's cooking. You will never want to go home. So you will never want to go home is a support. And that is basically the same as the second sentence, which we have to support by ourselves. Wait until you meet our physics teacher. You will never want to leave class again. But that's like the most simple stuff. You can see that the first sentence, wait until you taste my mother's cooking, could just end it there. If I used to write it like that all the time, I write a sentence that is logically correct, but no support at all. So if you write that, you should always put support. Now, do keep in mind though, you don't need to support every sentence in your paragraph or letter, because if that's so, that's very unnatural. And if a person receiving that letter will think you're a bit stupid. So do keep that in mind to make sure have a balance between normal sentences and actually personalization sentences. Okay, the other examples I will not talk through thoroughly anymore because of how simple and similar they are. So let's move on to page 26. The conclusion of a descriptive letter. The easiest paragraph and also the easiest
Kelvin?
So I'm feel sorry. Descriptive letter should be on whether yes.
Kelvin, are you here?
This is called in Burmese.
When
This is
it's-
say in Burmese that with later, right?
Began the letter.
Yeah. When other
God
people
damn
say,
it.
when other
Yeah.
people say
I was going to say it's Woodley because he always like told teacher that the teacher is liking. Now he's also liking.
and he always criticizes other people. Hey, you are lucky, and then your voice is like a pianist playing. Okay, so now you got the same situation. Okay, Alvin, be careful.
I'm sorry, teacher. Oh, he's back again.
Hello, what the hell happened? I'm on my phone.
Yeah, it's called that in Burmese with later, right? You always laugh at the other people, and then now this is your turn.
Yeah, wait.
Okay, yeah, now 26. Yeah.
A comma, right? Basically.
Yes. Yeah, that's called karma, right? So
Wait,
26.
Can you hear clearly? I'm on my phone.
Yeah, really clearly. Okay.
Really?
So we are in the same boat. We're in the same boat. Yeah, because I'm joining with the phone. That's clear.
Shall I open my camera? Hello, guys. What's up? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about the conclusion of a descriptive letter. Okay, I think I should stop.
Okay, try.
So, a conclusion of a descriptive letter. What did I say? Oh yeah, it should be short. Basically, don't put too many lines because after all, you have already written a lot in the previous paragraphs. It would be a waste of time. And also, it should return to the point where you begin the letter. So in descriptive letters, I think most descriptive letters, you need to talk about schools and where you live and blah, blah. And you write about all about that in the letter. And just tell about how you like your pajamas in the last paragraph. It's not going to be very, very, how can I say, suitable, I guess. So if you look at the example, if it was lovely to get your letter yesterday and hear that you're coming to stay, I thought I drop you a line to give you some idea about life over here. Basically, this is a letter about where you live and how things go around. And you should conclude that with like that. Well, anyway, I hope this gave you some idea about us here and that you're getting excited that you're coming, getting excited about coming. It is very important that you should do this all the time, especially when you're given the letter about your hobbies or similar things. And if you could put a personalization sense, it's not necessary, but it is very, very, how can I say, suitable for the conclusion. For example, don't forget to let me know what time your flight arrives. I think that's like most basic personalization sentences out there. So be sure not to kill yourself. I mean, don't forget to pack a swimsuit. It's also a suitable personalization sentence. And also, finally, the last part, and also the easiest part that anyone shouldn't really make a mistake is the ending and signature. If you make a mistake here, well, I don't know how to explain. If you make a mistake here, I'm looking forward to seeing you on Friday soon next week. I think you can write it in any other sentence, but the time should be there. And finally, the last part of the letter is the conclusion, not the conclusion, but the end of the thing, signature. And finally, with love from, with best wishes, and yours are the ones that you need to use. I can't think of anything else, but I don't want to think about it because I might make mistakes. And also, when you write down your name, only write a single letter. So, for example, me, if I write Elvin on, I don't think that's gonna give you any marks. You should write only a single name, your first name, basically, in these kind of letters. I'm pretty sure what I just explained is very essential, but also very, very obvious to a lot of people. But I still have to explain it, so I think I'm done. Sorry for the terrible inconvenience and transition. I guess is that what you call the transitions? But I hope you understand what I just said. Thank you all for listening, and I'm the last candidate here, so clap. I guess I can't see you though. I'm on my phone, so I can't see you clap. The thing is, I can only see Teacher Rose. I can't see anyone else.
But you can hear our voices.
Wait. What do you say?
You can hear our voices.
I can hear you. I can hear your voices. Yes, but I can't see all of them at once. I have to slide through every single one.
It's a sad story for Elvin today.
It's all right. No. It's actually not just today. It's just my computer. There's something wrong with my computer and my Wi-Fi as well. It's not that good.
Okay, Elvin, we have the same boat, no problem. I'm also in these days. I don't know why my laptop is giving some problems to me. Only just if I try with the phone, it's fine. Okay, I can see you very clearly and I can hear your voices clearly. But when I try with a laptop, it got some problem. So no problem.
So about the same boat. Like, is there other examples for the boat? Like, you always say like the same situation is a bit too formal, but you say the same boat. So are there any other how can I say, examples like on the same ship, in the same car, or anything else like which I can use apart from boats?
No, is this on just the usage of the native? That's it. We can change it.
Oh, there's only boats. God damn it. Okay, so
the same Lamborghini.
You said that we are in command. You're in command.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
I accidentally closed my mic on my PC when I'm talking on the phone.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now from page number 27 to here, 33. Okay, till 33, only just there are some examples. I think you better read it yourself, right? Because I want to go on to next exercise about the 4 essential element, right? Okay. So is there any question till now about informal descriptive writing? Not yet? Right.
So how many marks do you lose for grammatical mistakes?
When you do writing, you might have sometimes 12 or not altogether, okay, for an essay or for a letter. Okay, I wanted to remind you one thing. That is, some of you may have a mistakes about writing your ending and the signature, right? So when you were young, you might know that when you write a letter, you have to write your ending and the signature on your right hand side, right? And then now you have to change to the left. Do you know, do you understand what I mean? When you start to write with a dear, okay, dear my uncle, dear Uncle Sam, like that, right? So you have to write your ending and the signature at the same side of your dear Uncle Sam side. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so you might mistakes with the left hand side and right hand side. Maybe when you were young, you would start to write with a dear and on your left hand side, right? And when the ending and the signature, you might write on your left hand side. Okay, so now you have to change to the left. So because you may see some of the sample letter here on page number 32, 33, and then other example as well, right? So you would see the examples of 29. The ending best which and maybe Haisham, or I'm not sure for the name. So this is, you would see that in the left hand side. Okay. Yep. And then I think I would explain to you the summary about the advice letter. Okay, please highlight, or maybe if you have already highlight, let's check this, okay, together. Okay, and when you're going to write advice letter, what you have to be careful is that you have to give the advices to your friends, but don't give much advices, okay? Only just 1 or 2 advice would be better for your friends. And then next one is, whenever you write, you have to follow to personalizing, supporting, and then avoid listing, right? Those 3 points are very important whenever you write a letter. And then in the page number 35, okay? On page number 35, when you write introduction, you shouldn't start with, I have been meaning to write for ages for a long time. Okay, it was, instead of that, you better change, it was lovely to get your letter and it was great to hear from you. Okay, so you better start like that. And here, you better highlight the apology type of introduction is not appropriate for advice letter. Okay, so I think you better highlight that sentence. And then next one is, okay. Okay, next one you better highlight is you have to show your feeling when you advise to your friends, because showing your feeling is you are showing that you have a sympathy to your friends. Okay, you show that, okay, I realize you, I sympathize you. Okay, but you have to give the advices. And then next one on page number 36. Yeah, so when you write the introduction, you can show with your feeling, and you have to use with present perfect and simple past tense to show respect to your friend. Okay, because the friendly registration need to show your respect to the readers, right? That's why you better use present perfect or simple past tense to show respect to your friends. And then next one is you have to remember. That's it. You cannot avoid it. Okay, you have to remember 3 pieces of advice. Okay, you have to give only just 2 or 3 pieces of advice only. And then you have to include personalizing and adverse phrases on, you can look at on page number 37. Right, and then you need to add support, and please avoid stating the obvious. Please avoid and then listen. Okay, now on page number 37. Here is some examples about advice phrases. Okay, so you better choose and try to use, okay, try to apply the phrases that the text is given. Okay, and here is an exam tip. The first 2 phrases are the most basic ones, and impress the examiner by using some of the other phrases in this list. This is just the suggestion for exam tip. Okay, so now let's move on to page number 38. On page number 38, you would see that the subtitle, keep it simple. Okay, when you write the advice letter and you have to give the advice simply. Okay, you shouldn't give the confusing advice to your friends. And here they, try to keep it simple. There are some usages, advice phrases, and eat the right things, or another advice phrase is take up a sport team or like that. And then here, another remember is do not list vegetable or write about vitamins, mineral, and carbohydrate, protein, or digestive system here. Okay, because you are writing a letter, you are not writing a report or an article about the nutrition, right? So that's you have to care for that. And page number 39. Are you okay? Can you catch up? Yes. Okay, now let's move on to page number 39. Okay, so you would say that about language points. On language points here, it's that do some exercise mean exercise in a direct sense of opposed to in activity, and in it's mean for someone who spends a lot of time sitting, watching television, or studying all the time, right? So do not confuse with exercises. And these are the fixed sequence of movement performing a specific reason, for example, warm-up exercises, right? And here, number 3, adverse phrases and take it. That is also another example. Yeah, and on page number 39, you will see how to give a reason, okay? Why you give that, that idea to your friends, okay? You need some explanation, right? So now let's move on to page number 40. Okay, you would see that conclusion of an advice letter. Okay, on page number 40, you have to write your conclusion with a generalization. Okay, you better highlight that one because you have to know how to conclude for the advice letter. Yeah, and then instead of writing generalization, you shouldn't end up with glad, I hope this helps. Instead, you have to say, joining a sport club, cutting down on junk food worked for me, and so I was sure it will work for you too. Okay, and yes, that's it. And on page number 12, and page number 41, you would see that exam style question. Is there any question till now about the advice letter? Okay, so I would like to suggest you before you write advice letter or descriptive, okay, you better read the samples one, right? Take other people's mistake to be your own, to be your advantage. I mean, you know, learn how other people write the in good points and then the bad points, right? Okay, take the good one from others and then avoid the bad things from other people's mistakes. Okay. Yes, that's it. So I think we, how about narrative letter? Did you learn previous time? Not yet. On page number 51. You are not done yet, right? Okay, so let me give you as homework. Friendly letter narrative. Okay, from page number 51 to 60. And it is very short. Oh, by the way, on Friday there's a holiday. It's a holiday, right?
What? Okay. Monday, teacher.
Yeah, on Monday.
Today is
Monday, right?
Yeah, Monday is a holiday, right?
Oh, I heard that it's also Sunday.
Sorry?
Sunday and Monday, yeah.
Sunday and Monday, yeah, 2 days.
Yeah, Sunday and Monday is a holiday. So you would be very sorry, right? Because we cannot meet on Monday.
Yeah,
no.
very sorry. Too sad that I can't even.
I can feel your tear. Your tear is like a pumpkin size, right? You know,
Yeah,
you drop your tear. You drop your
I'm
tear.
tearing. I'm crying for both sadness and happiness.
Okay. Okay, your tear looks like a pumpkin size, right? Very big one, like not a lime shape, not a lime size.
If you are like tearing pumpkin sized tears, you should see a doctor.
In Burmese, so
please confirm me that.
Wait, pumpkin is not pumpkin, right? Wait, what?
Wait. On this side, right?
Alicia.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you please like confirm for homework? But yeah, can you please confirm? Yeah.
Okay. I believe you would. I believe you would do it, right? Page number 51 to 60. We would discuss about informal narrative. next week on
Just
Friday.
reading assignment, right? Just reading assignment.
Read and do some notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just check about note. We can take freely, right? About note. We don't need
Sorry?
to show, right? Like we can take like, cause my note is gonna be very soapy at that. So if I have to show you, then I have to do it carefully.
No problem, no problem. Okay, I'm not checking about how beautiful your handwriting is. I am checking it how much you worked. That's it.
I see.
It's
Okay.
51 to 60.
Of course, 51 to 60. And if you want to, no problem. I can keep on, okay? And then I can keep on to page number 61 to 80. Is that fine? No. No, okay. Cross.
No.
Okay, so 51 to 60. And on that day, okay, I will make, I have got an idea to do that, you know. Let's make a drawer. Okay, and then I would make a drawer, and then you have to pick up me. I will pick up BL for you, and then you have to present. Okay, let's see who will be the luckiest one on Friday to discuss, okay, to discuss about narrative letter.
Only one for all pages?
No. You know, one here, now here to 51 to 60, right? 51 to 60, and I will divide the pages and let's do it. Right.
Okay.
So
you.
so you need to read all the pages. Okay. And then no excuse and no reason will be accepted. Teacher, I was busy and I visit my grandma's house and I haven't time and I lost my book. Okay. No reason is acceptable.
So my dog
I ate my book. I ate my book.
Okay, I ate
I
my
have a
book.
dog, but my dog ate my book.
Teacher, how
my
about
dog.
the one who didn't attend the class?
Okay, so
They
you
can
better
rewatch video.
pass this news. You better pass this news to friends. Oh, okay, so yeah, thank you, Sidhu, for your advice, for your question. I think one of you, okay, should write the notes for your homework. Okay, so who would do it?
William
already did.
I
okay.
already sent.
Okay, good job, William. Thank you. Yeah, so now let's go to four essential elements. Where did we finish four essential elements? I think write the topic sentences. Am I right?
We finished up to page 10, your hometown.
Okay, of course. Yes, thank you. So now let's move on to, let's start from paragraph without support and with support. Okay. So you will see two paragraphs. Okay, so first paragraph is written without support and the second one has got support. So let's read it yourself, okay? Read it yourself and then check which are differences. Okay, so what is different between, yes?
Which book? Again, can you
it's
tell
not a
me
book,
the page number?
Yeah, this is not a book, this is only just a file. Okay, is anyone?
For essential, I see.
Yeah, for essential. Is anyone who hasn't got?
Probably
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Yeah. So you mean that you cannot open the file or is any problem?
No, I don't know which file. Did you send it? No?
Which file?
I sent you Viber. In Viber
Yes,
group.
I sent it on the Viber.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, so for essential element, kinds of paragraphs and provision and summary, I uploaded 3 files. Oh, by the way, I haven't checked for the listening. Okay, that's it. I think that's your homework again. Did you finish your listening?
No.
Smiling. I know the meaning of your smile.
I totally forget about it.
Oh my
So,
God.
sure, we have to listen, and what do we have to do? We just have to listen to that song.
No, not right now. Okay, take as homework again.
No, but what do we have to do apart from listening? Just listen.
No, you have to listen and you have to answer the question. You would see that you would see 4ESO01 question, 4ESO02 question, and there is a audio clip zip.
Oh,
file.
okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I think question one would be reading and writing. Okay, so question 2 would be listening question. That is past paper.
So,
Past
Chef,
paper, past paper 2015.
About
so
four
we have
central
to-
elements. Can you tell me which page again?
Sorry?
You told us to read like 4 central elements, right? I
Page
open it
10.
now. Page 10.
Page 10, yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Paragraph without support and paragraph with support. Yeah, please read it. Let me know if you're done. Can you look for differences? I think you're done.
Yes.
Okay. So which are differences between with support and without support?
With support, it like explain thoroughly with the examples also, and also the point and the factors. For without support, I don't know, it's just like too uncomfortable to read it. It's just too awkward.
Yeah.
Well,
So
teacher, so while you're asking, I finish. So my 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 waiting skill is too nice that I open 12 windows, so I have to close all of them. So please wait for me. I will read it now. Yes, I'm having some problem with trying to open it, but I can open it. I open it now. So
okay. The technical order is very difficult to solve.
No. So there's a time gap between the thing that will pop up. So I don't wait for it and I click 12 times and 12 window pop up.
Okay.
My patient is too nice.
Yes, okay. You should keep your patient, right?
About the paragraph of support. Oh wait, do I have to wait for him? Sorry.
But I think, while you're explaining and then Charlie will listen to it.
Yeah, that's also okay.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
No, I was about to ask a question. So you can clearly tell that the paragraph support is superior to the paragraph without support. But the thing is, to get all these facts, where do you find these factual information on the spot?
Why?
Like how we even make a research in tests.
Yeah, it's like
in order to make the support sense.
No, I don't think they will allow us to find out in tests. No, but
like,
that's what I'm trying to say.
To be with the perfect support, we need researches.
Yeah, we can't bluff.
Actually, this one here, support. Here, the theme support is a little different from the textbook, right? But here, support is supporting the main idea. Okay, don't misunderstand here, right? So the previous parts for in the text is supporting the things that you have already explained and you have already mentioned to your friend. And here support is, supporting to the main idea. Okay, so for example, showing, giving some of the example about the 900 people dying and nearly 200,000 so injured. And then another, how should I say? Another, yes, the motorists ran a red light every 20 minutes, right? So such kind of sentences are the example to support, okay, to support the main idea, the theme, okay, the topic sentence. That's it. Okay, don't mix and don't misunderstand.
No, I mean like where do we even got the info? Like in tests, we can't use Google.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. Like if you look at the paragraph with support, it's just like more than 900 people died, nearly 200,000 are injured, and involve red light.
Maybe they're just flashing.
But we got. How do you? I mean, you could, but like
we can. Just
like,
for the
for example, like Fairfax, Virginia, a 5-mile-long survey, a 5 busy intersection, like red light every 20 minutes. Like how do you like find that information? Like I don't care about red lights, or I don't casually know about where red lights are supposed to do in Virginia.
I know that. Where did you get this example exactly? You want to know the links, really, the real links, right?
What? Sorry, the real links?
No, I mean that the real information, the real results. You want to know the real results?
No,
not
that. I don't need to know the real resource. I just need to know how do we get the real resource.
Oh yes, to get the real resources, you can look for in the end. You can make a Google. Okay, you can look for in the Google.
In the exam. In the exam,
you can use Google.
No, they don't ask you such a difficult things.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's the answer I needed. God damn it, I had to ask like 10 different kind of questions.
Okay, no, they don't ask you the question actually asked, and they don't ask you such a difficult things,
If, for example, if some sort of like these questions come up, do you have to just make up the numbers for the 900 deaths and something like that? Because we don't really have a
knowledge about that.
Yeah, I could say that.
Okay, don't be very sorry for that. And then you are not asked such kind of difficult questions. Okay, you would see that maybe sometimes I would practice you how to answer the question. Okay, the past people. We will practice the past people. So you would see here. I have already sent it to you the past paper, right? So when you read them, and then that is not very difficult like this. Okay, don't worry that. But you know, as I told you before, in Burmese, in how should I say, in Burmese proverbs, "Jin lao mema." Yes, "Du lao jade," right? "Yin lao mema, du lao jade." Oh my God.
Oh,
I've never heard of it, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, that's new.
You need
Oh,
to learn Burmese proverbs as well, right? Right? So you have to learn higher, a little higher. So when you take the exam, that would be okay for you. That's it. Okay, so now let's move on to unity and coherence. Here you see unity and coherence again. An important element of a good program is unity. Unity means that a program discusses one and only one main idea from beginning to end. So the second part of unity is that every supporting sentence must directly explain or prove the main idea. Okay, the three programs that follow all discuss the same topic. Only one of them show unity. So first read the paragraphs and then answer the questions. So the first question is, which program has unity? Second one, which program does not have unity because it discusses two different topics? And third question, which program does not have unity because it has sentences that are not related to the main topic, right? So now it's 10:30, but let's take about 5 minutes. Please give me 5 minutes. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for your generosity. Okay, now let's move on to, okay, please read paragraph 1, 2, 3 quickly, and then which one has unity? One, okay. One, are you okay?
Me? Yes, I'm
Yes. Okay, thank you. Because you're too silent, that's why. Are you done?
Yes.
Okay, good job. Yes, which paragraph has unity?
Second paragraph.
Okay, second paragraph. Yes. So I will keep on number 2. Which paragraph does not have unity? It discusses 2 different topics.
Third paragraph.
Third paragraph. 2 different topics, right?
Yes.
Okay, so why do you say so third paragraph has 2 different topics?
It says green, red, and teal color to the Egyptian representing their hope and sign of spring. And then it said about the religion. So I think religious temper. So I think it is discussed about 2 different things.
So you mean the first paragraph has 2 different topics?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yes, you're correct. So I think other students also will know about it, right? Actually, paragraph 2, yes, paragraph 2 has a unity. And first paragraph, paragraph 1 has 2 different topics because you have to start from green was. Okay, green was scared color to the Egyptian representing blah blah because it changed to discuss about the religion. Okay, and then some mosque has they use the green color, okay, for the spiritual group, right? So it moves to another topic, right? It has 2 different topics. So to be seen very clearly, and 3, which paragraph does not have unity because it has sentences that are not related to the main topic. Yeah, so the paragraph 3. Okay, that paragraph has off topic, but I would like to know which sentence is off topic.
Blue is not a good color for dinner wall. However, who looks like appetizing when it is served on blue plate, perhaps because very few foods in nature are of that color.
Yeah, okay. Blue is not a good color for dinnerware. However, food looks like appetizing. When it is served on blue plates, perhaps becomes very few. Food is nature are of the color. Yes, you're correct. So is there any question for these 3 paragraphs?
No, the chat.
Okay, yes. If you don't have any more questions, so let's stop here because I think you may have some tasks to do. So
I'm also facing the comma because my Wi-Fi, even though my Wi-Fi is connected, I kept leaving for 2 times.
Oh, okay. And let me make sure for your homework again, because I have already noted down, and I think we will edit more. Okay, your homework is first one, Ellison book, page number 51 to 60, reading assignment and note making, right? Note making, or maybe you have to highlight it. And second one is you have to do past paper 2015, right? I have already uploaded 3 files. First one is reading and writing. Second file is listening question. The third file will be audio clip, right?
So what do we do?
You have to do it. You have to listen to it and you have to answer the questions.
Second file.
How about reading and writing everything, right?
Yeah, reading and writing as well. You have to read it and answer the question and then writing as well. But for writing, I want to tell you is for writing, you have to read the question very carefully. If the question is, or if you have already learned, the question is related to the lesson you have already done, you just answer it, right? If the question is not related to the lessons you haven't done, just only skip it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Teacher, can you resend it?
Can you reset? You mean that I have to forward it again?
Yeah, forward the files for the past papers.
Okay, I will do it.
Too much file. I can't find it.
It's so far up. We forgot. It's so far up.
I have done. Do you see it?
Wait.
Just read, right?
Yeah,
just read. No.
So we have to do all of them?
Yeah, you have to do all of them, but
Yeah,
reading would
but-
be fine. Reading would be
But
fine.
then-
But okay, reading would be fine. But for writing, okay, writing, read the question very carefully. The question is related to the lessons you have learned. Okay, answer it. If it's not,
Okay.
just skip it.
Okay.
Okay. So any more questions?
So do we
Okay.
have to like assign it to you?
Yes, you have to submit it.
Deadline. Wait, when's the deadline?
The deadline.
The deadline, okay, deadline should be Wednesday, next week, Wednesday.
Okay.
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 In the group. So.
In the group, yeah, in the Vibers group. Yeah, please, please don't send
Oh.
me on the privacy. If you send it to me privacy, I'm worried that I might miss.
It's
Right?
kind of
No problem.
Like chill, like,
Don't
or,
care
like-
that. Okay, your friends are not curious. They don't care about your others' business because only they uploaded that they think, oh, I'm done. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
I'm done. I'm
sure
leaving
that
this place.
I'm sure that they are not interested to read your work.
like you just post you just upload the thing and like you just left Viber. I'm done. I'm out of here.
Okay.
Okay.
And then
So,
don't worry that they will copy your answer.
So about the listening lesson, I like to confirm. After listening the audio, we have to answer the questions in second time, right?
You would see the question. You will see the question, but I think you have to write down in your notebook and take a photo and then send it to me.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
How about if we do it by the Word file? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
So like,
Thank you, teacher.
so I'll confirm you back. So like,
yes.
page 51 to 63 and make some notes.
Note
And then,
making, yes.
Answer and like this reading like 3 finds, right? So you're in trouble with connection. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Am I correct?
But actually, for the listeners, I didn't catch that.
Please, okay, let it be.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, teacher. Bye-bye. See you on Friday. Yeah.
Okay, see you on Friday. Have fun.
Bye-bye.